Welcome back to the CrewAI course. In this video, we're going to be talking about the best practices for defining agents in CrewAI. If you want this full course, as well as a bunch of other free templates for any type of AI tool, join our school community. It's linked in the description box and pinned comment down below. We also do weekly live calls in there for free. So join that community if you want to learn AI. Okay, so let's jump right in. When you create agents, you want to set them up for success. So in CrewAI, you want to make sure your agent has a clear role defined. So instead of a generic role like assistant or AI agent, you want to use precise titles, things like market research analyst, content strategist, or customer support specialist. Now, this matters because a well defined role helps the agent focus and know what to focus on given a specific set of responsibilities. That just makes it more accurate and improves performance. So, number two is you want to set SMART goals. So, this is kind of just a conceptual framework about using the SMART framework, right? So, you want to have a specific goal, it's clear and unambiguous, measurable, you want to have success criteria, achievable, you want to ensure the goal is realistic. If you give your agent a goal such as, I want you to learn how to fly, that's not going to make sense. You want it to be relevant, so align with the agent's role. And optionally, you can make it time bound, so adding time constraints if needed. This one you don't need to really worry about too much. So a bad goal is analyze financial data. That's very vague. It's not specific enough, right? And again, is it even a realistic goal? Because how much financial data, it doesn't really sound specific enough. A good goal, on the other hand, is going to be identify key financial trends from Q1 2024 reports to support investment decisions. So super specific, very direct, easy to understand, and the success criteria is very measurable. Now, number three, craft a detailed backstory. Now, these are a little bit more optional. You don't need crazy detailed, essays here, but they're very useful to have detailed backstory. So a strong backstory essentially shapes the agent's personality and influences decision making so that it knows how to act regarding the goal. And you want it to be believable, right? So adding details about the agent's experience, specialization, or working style. So one example here is you're a seasoned tech journalist with over 8 years of experience covering startups, emerging tech, and AI. Known for your concise, engaging writing style, you thrive on delivering insightful articles that capture readers' attention. So you can see with this backstory, we gave a whole lot of information in not even that many words, but it'll set it up for success based on its backstory, right? Okay, number four is assigning the right tools. Now, we're going to have a bunch of different videos in this course specifically about tools and how to use them and which tools to use. But in this little section here, I still want to cover this. You want to be able to match the right tools to tasks. So giving agents the specific tools they need, like APIs, web scrapers, analyzers, and you don't want to overload them. So don't assign tools that are very unlikely to be needed. It can just slow them down or cause confusion even for the agent. So if you know your agent will never need to search the web, don't even include web search. Don't just try to do it just to be safe. Number five is use memory strategically. So when to use memory. So if you have an agent that will need context from past tasks, you want to use memory. Something like a customer support agent. If it's a one-off task, some type of data analysis without any historical context, you don't need memory, so don't include it. And keeping memory clean will just overall affect the performance in a positive way because it's not going to get mixed up and consider using past information that is not necessary. Number six, define delegation rules. So allowing delegation. So you're going to use this if the agent acts as a manager or coordinator who assigns tasks to others, right? If you don't allow delegation, this is going to be for a specialist focused on individual tasks. So with no delegation, that agent will do that individual task by themselves and go from there, right? So number 7 is going to be setting boundaries with clear instructions. So adding constraints and defining their style or tone, right? So limiting the scope of tasks to prevent the agent from overthinking or going off topic. And this can be very subtle because it's essentially just a little verbal railguard with a few words that you add, right? So an example here in these instructions would be focus only on reliable data-backed sources. Avoid speculation. So avoiding speculation is that constraint there. And then the defining style or tone is going to be the write in a professional tone suitable for business executives. Number 8, test and refine continuously. So this is, again, a more qualitative one that you're going to notice and have to notice as you're building these, but you want to start small and test agents with simple tasks before scaling to complex workflows and gather feedback. Check if the agents and the crew you have, are they actually succeeding in doing what you want? Is it working well? Or is it off the mark half the time? So review performance, tweak the goals, tweak the roles or the tools, and see what actually works. Optimize for collaboration at number 9 here. So if you're using multiple agents, define those clear handoffs, specify what information should be passed between agents, and make sure agents have complementary skills to cover different parts of tasks. So if you have the researcher, analyst, and writer, they all play their part and they all complement each other respective to their role. So number 10, prioritize performance and efficiency, right? So if you have a crazy large task or goal, you want to limit the scope. You want to break it down into smaller manageable subtasks. And again, you want to optimize tool usage. We already mentioned this, but using lightweight tools where possible to reduce processing time. So putting it all together with all those best practices you can see here, we have that sample YAML, and you can use this kind of as a, simple but gold standard type of example where it's effective. It does what it does with these best practices kept in mind. So you have your role, very specific, your goal, again, very specific, identify top 5 emerging tech trends for 2025. But you have a backstory here, which helps a lot, of course. And you have your tools, no overkill, memory, allow delegation, not needed here. And then you have the instructions. Focus on credible industry reports, avoid speculative sources, and provide concise summaries. So some common mistakes to avoid. Vague roles or goals, which again is going to lead to bad performance. Having too many tools, which just overcomplicate simple tasks. No feedback loop, so you're not testing enough and refining enough. And finally, over-reliance on memory, which might cause outdated or irrelevant responses. And again, just some final thoughts here. The best agents are going to be focused, clear on their purpose, equipped with the right tools for the job, adaptive because they're continuously improved based on your feedback and correct usage of them. And finally, they're collaborative. So they work well with other agents when needed, if needed at all. So that's it for this video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next CrewAI video. We're going to be talking about tasks. See you next time.